Shri Gurucharitra Chapter 28 Shri Gurudeva Datta Parabrahmane Namaha. Description of consequences of one's actions. By listening to Shri Gurucharitra, one attains mental serenity and cultivates love towards Guru. In him, the lamp of eternal knowledge kindles. It is the bounden duty of every disciple to march on the loving path shown by Shri Guruji. There is no other treatise over and above Shri Gurucharitra for purification of mind. After the departure of those two arrogant Brahmins to the river bank in pursuance of instructions given by Shri Guruji, here at Gangapur, that ordinary fallen man had become a highly enlightened person. That was due to the effect of sprinkling of consecrated ash by Shri Guruji on his body. He at once recollected his past 7 births. He had a feeling that he was a Brahmin by birth. Thinking so in his mind, he devotedly saluted the lotus feet of Shri Guruji. Then he pleaded before Shri Guruji humbly thus: Hey the All-Knower, which kind of sin have I committed in my past birth that dragged me to this low-caste family in this birth? Even though I was a class Brahmin in my previous birth, how am I born as a fallen soul in this birth? Kindly let me know all these things from your mouth. This way he prayed to Shri Guruji with folded hands. Then Shri Guruji, while speaking to that fallen man, said, Hey, the low-ordered man, I shall tell the sinful actions of your previous births that were responsible for your present birth in a low-caste family. The turn of events is very unpredictable. No one knows it. By committing wrong deeds, one reaps bitter fruits. By virtue of noble deeds, one's flaws of birth get rectified and he attains liberation. For one's present state of affairs, his previous deeds alone are instrumental. People from all castes, according to their respective actions, shall be reborn either in higher or lower castes in their next births. By sinful misdeeds, one has to take birth in a low caste distressed family. Therefore, while performing actions, every one of us has to be very cautious. Those Brahmins who deviate from the righteous path, who are corrupted in religious matters, shall be born in outcast family or be born as plant, worm, pest, and the like. Those who got alienated from parents, preceptor, elderly people, wife, and children shall be born as a low caste person in their next life. Those who indulged in abusing deities would suffer from epilepsy. One who stays separately by abandoning his parents takes birth in a hunter's family and suffers from diseases. Those who criticize enlightened Brahmins would be affected by the problems relating to evacuation. Those who abuse others needlessly suffer from heart related problems. Those who abandon their chosen guru, father and mother, spouse, disrespects family deity and worships other deities, the habitual liars, those who cause harm, injury to others, those who are engaged in dealings of young girls, those who administer false oath against their own conscience, those who, being born as Brahmins, are engaged in the dealings of horse trading, those who bang the vessels on the earth which are being used for performing ancestral rituals, those who are having illicit relations with low caste women, those who are in the company of prostitutes, those who have set fire to the forest, those who separated the calf from the mother cow which is dependent on mother cow for feeding, those who are troubling their own children and separate them from their mother, have to be born as an outcast person in next birth. Besides, those who pollute ponds and wells used for drinking water, those who have given up the worship of deities, the one who blocks the worship of others, the one who destroys the Brahmin's house, the one who commits adultery with the wife of his friend or trusted ones, the one who does not treat all his wives equally if he has more than one, those who do not serve food to guests, those who fail to fulfill their promises, and those who go to sleep in the evening times are destined to be reborn as outcast persons. Those who disrespect the guests who arrive at the time of offering food to the deities by failing to serve food to them shall attain the life of a cock. Those who indulge in abusing sacred places, those Brahmins who consume food on the day of Ekadashi, those who on the day of Shivratri Ekadashi have been in the company of women, those who fail to perform ancestors' rituals on the scheduled day or postpone rituals, those who indulge in partiality in the matter of apportionment of property, wealth, are born in the lower caste. One who causes impediments to the actions of the knowledgeable ones, the one who, not having the knowledge of pulse reading, is engaged in medical profession, the one who gives up Vedic path and gets involved in prohibited actions, those Brahmins who are engaged in black magic get birth in low caste family. The slanderer of Guru, the one who worships sub-deities abandoning the worship of Sri Hari and Sri Hara, and such of the people who do not perform actions ordained by scriptures shall be born as an outcast. Such of the Brahmins who are engaged in performing religious rituals without being initiated into the profession by an authorized Vedic scholar, those who have developed relations with widows, those who consume meals on their ancestors' day without offering to them, are qualified for low caste birth. Abortion is a serious offense. The woman who, at her own will, gets aborted shall be born as an issueless woman in her next life. Even if she begets issues, they will be short lived. Those who glare at others while consuming more food shall be born as blind men. The one who consumes liquid drinks and medicines from a fallen person acquires the birth of a stag. The one who slays a Brahmin would suffer from tuberculosis disease due to the flaw that originates from the act of consumption of liquor. One shall have black teeth in his life. The slayer of cow, horse is reborn as an issueless person. The consumed food itself becomes a poison for those who have betrayed others. The slayer of a snake is reborn as a snake. The one who kidnaps a female suffers in the hell. The one who steals gold would suffer from decaying nails, and the one who steals books becomes a blind man. The one who robs clothes suffers from white leprosy. One who robs common property suffers from scrofula of the neck and throat. The one who steals the wealth of others and the one who hates others become issueless when they are reborn. The robber of rice suffers from the disease of spleen. The one who steals grains oil will be possessed with a stinking, bad odored body. Similarly, the one who steals wealth, kidnaps another's wife, becomes a Brahmin ghost. The one who robs the precious possessions of others takes birth in a low caste family. If someone steals flowers, leaves of fruit, tree, he is bound to have a body which is infected by worms, insects. One who steals metal, cotton, steel becomes a leprosy patient. Should someone rob the wealth belonging to God and cause hurdles to religious ceremonies, he shall be troubled by the disease white leprosy. The one who steals fruits becomes handicapped and the dweller of the forest. If one steals the hidden treasure of others, he will suffer throughout his life. One who lifts water and domestic articles of others becomes a crow. The one who steals milk shall be afflicted by leprosy. Therefore, all those who committed acts of robbery shall be born in low ordered family and later shall have to suffer from untold miseries throughout their life. The actions relating to adultery are also considered as sinful actions. By indulging in such actions, one is born as dog, donkey, cobra, worm, the low ordered births. Thus, Shri Guruji gave an idea about all those matters and also suggestions by way of remedies as enjoined in scriptures. If one repents for the sins he committed, then he shall no more remain tainted. He also highlighted the importance of service to Guru as a means to get freed from the sins. The five great sins, that is, annihilation of Brahmin, consumption of liquor, stealing of gold, casting an evil eye on Guru's wife, and a combination of two or more from the above, if committed, the same can be redressed by visiting Guru and seeking his grace. Thus Shri Guruji narrated. Later, speaking to that low caste man, Shri Guruji pointed out his flaws and said, "Hey, in your previous birth, you had taken birth in a Brahmin family. But since you scorned your own parents and abused them, you had attracted the flaw from your sinful behavior. Due to that flaw, in this birth, you are born as a low caste person. But for that, you need not worry now. I am suggesting you a way out. For a period of 30 days from now, you shall take bath in sacred confluence of Bhima Amarja every day, which is here itself. By that you will be sinless. When you die, you shall be born as a Brahmin in your next birth." Then the outcast person said, "Hey the master, the lotus feet of Shri Guruji is the origin of all sacred tirthas. One can, in a natural way, attain liberation at Guru's feet. Those who trust the lotus feet of Guru get instantly relieved from the ill effects of their actions of the last several births. Kindly convert me as a Brahmin by sprinkling consecrated ash on me and keep me engaged in the service of your lotus feet. Myself, Brahmin of yesterday, shall be a Brahmin forever." To that Shri Guruji smilingly said, "Hey gentleman, a man in this world is known, introduced by the caste in which he is born. You are born in a low caste family. No one will call you a Brahmin. Only that person who has been initiated by Guru and endeavors to know Brahma qualifies to be Brahmin. In support of my statement, I am going to narrate a story as an example. In the past, King Vishwamitra, who was born in Kshatriya family, observed a very severe penance to attain Brahminhood. He then proudly claimed himself to be a Brahmin in front of the people, as he thought he had been purified. Thereafter again he observed penance for 100 years, addressing Lord Brahma, and he himself declared that he had become Brahmarshi. He visited gods and insisted that all of them should address him as Brahmarshi. Then the godhead, Lord Indra, told him that if their preceptor sage Vasishtha were to declare him to be a Brahmarshi, they have no problem. Hesitation in calling him as Brahmarshi. Little upset, Vishwamitra then went to sage Vasishtha and requested him to address him as Brahmarshi. Sage Vasishtha advised him thus: "O my friend, a man who is born of race Kshatriya cannot become a Brahmarshi. Does not matter how long he observes penance. If you have a wish to become a Brahmin, you should give up your present body and then shall be reborn in a sacred Brahmin family. After initiation, you must lead a life of a Brahmin by means of body, speech and mind. That is, you should observe the thoughts and practices of a Brahmin and get initiated into ascetical order through Gayatri verse after thread ceremony and get purified." However, sage Vasishtha did not address him as Brahmarshi. In a fit of anger, he annihilated 100 children of sage Vasishtha. Even then, sage Vasishtha did not address him as Brahmarshi. Vishwamitra was about to annihilate him. Meanwhile, it occurred to him that his act of finishing Vasishtha would not serve any purpose, as nobody would be left to address him as Brahmarshi, and moreover, that certainly he would be attracting the flaw of killing a Brahmin, which would follow him forever like a shadow. Thus thinking, he deemed it fit in the circumstances to surrender to sage Vasishtha and to pray him. His counsel prevailed. Accordingly, he surrendered to sage Vasishtha and prayed to him. Sage Vasishtha was glad to note the change that had taken place in Vishwamitra. Then he called Vishwamitra and told him that he had become a knower of Brahma. But to become eligible to be called as Brahmarshi, sage Vasishtha advised Vishwamitra that he should burn down his present body on the strength of virtue possessed by penance and then acquire a new body. Vishwamitra did what was told to him by sage Vasishtha. Then Vasishtha called Vishwamitra as Brahmarshi. Later, everyone called him as Brahmarshi. When this being so, how can you be called as a Brahmin? Thus, Shri Guruji questioned that low caste man. Further, Shri Guruji said, "Hey, the degraded one, you too have to abandon your present body to be born as Brahmin. Since you have repented for your present birth, you are certainly going to be born in a Brahmin family." After listening to emphasized talk of Shri Guruji, the low caste that man's all doubts were cleared. Then his mind got settled down. He trusted Shri Guruji's words fully. Meditating on Shri Guruji, he thought that he was a Brahmin throughout and stood there only without moving, as he never wished to return to his home. Meanwhile, his wife and children, who were in search of him, reached there. They rejoiced after meeting him and came forward to catch hold of his hands. That low caste man, thinking himself to be a Brahmin, in an angry tone, instructed them not to touch his body. Inflamed, he was about to beat them. His wife was very much pained at his unusual behavior. She saluted Sri Guruji and then begged before him thus: "Hey, the all-knower master, kindly give a piece of advice to my husband. In case he does not wish to return with us, all of us shall commit suicide here only. Kindly save us." She prayed thus. Then Shri Guruji advised him in the following manner: "Hey, the gentleman, since you are married to this woman, your commitment to the family life continues. Fire god, sun god, and all have stood as witnesses to your marriage. After getting married, you are not supposed to abandon your family life abruptly. It is advisable for you to return to your home along with your wife and children now. Do not give up the ordained householder's religion the way you like. If you are to abandon this religion, it is against the scriptures and you shall be needlessly inviting the flaws. You must cross over this ocean of mundane world as per the advice of Shri Guruji." Thus, Shri Guruji gave beneficial advice to him. That low-ordered man, after listening to Shri Guruji's advice, again pleaded before Guruji with folded hands thus: "O the Master, only by your grace now I have become the knower of Supreme Soul. Then how can I become a degraded one again?" Then Shri Guruji realized that the low caste man was behaving that way as if he was purified by the consecrated ash, and that if he was given a bath by a greedy businessman, his supreme knowledge would disappear at once and that he would return to his original status of an ignorant man who would be curious to lead a worldly life. As such, Sri Guruji instructed one of his disciples to call a greedy Brahmin businessman and through him arranged for a bath to the low caste person. Accordingly, that disciple arranged for a bath to that person by a greedy Brahmin businessman. Instantly, the sacred ash that was on his body got washed away. He returned to his earlier ignorant status and got absorbed in domestic life and returned to home with his wife and children. Thereafter, in his next birth, he was born in a superior family. Those who were a witness to this curious incident and others who heard about it were quite surprised. Says Sri Vikram Bharati, who was with Sri Guruji that time, asked thus: "O Master, I have a doubt in my mind. Kindly clear my doubt and make me gratified. What was the reason for the cessation of his knowledge? Please enlighten me on this." Thus praying, he devotedly saluted him. Then Sri Guruji replied thus: "Hey sage, this is the glory of that most sacred ash which was on his body. The glory of sacred ash is boundless and quite amazing." Trivikram Bharati wanted to know more about the importance of sacred ash and its application. He lied down on the lotus feet of Sri Guruji and requested him to explain the significance of sacred ash. By listening to this most divine Shri Gurucharitra, all the desires of the devotee get fulfilled. One who listens to the commentary on Shri Gurucharitra becomes a knower of Brahma, even if he happens to be a fallen soul. Here ends the 28th chapter in the most auspicious Shri Gurucharitra. Shri Gurudeva Datta, Shri Guru Dattatreya Arpanamastu.